Hello everybody, it's Megalithic here, otherwise known as Puglo Escobar, and today I've had the good fortune to win yet another vehicle on the lucky wheel, and this time it's the Benefactor Schlagen. And there we go. Now, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, yet again I had no free memory, and so I was not able to record the actual win, and that really is rather annoying, you know. Once was annoying, twice is quite infuriating, I can assure you. Okay, anyway, the Benefactor Schlagen can be found under the legendary motorsport website, retailing at a price of $1,300,000, and this is a little bit later on, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, the Benefactor has now disappeared, as I have won it. I believe Mr. Raccoon was in the casino with me, and I believe that's why it didn't disappear from the podium there. Okay, well, we're going to go and head on down to the penthouse garage now, ladies and gentlemen, which is indeed where I have had the Benefactor delivered. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, right over there, right, the Benefactor Schlagen. And yes, there we go. Okay, rather interesting looking vehicle, isn't it, you know? Okay, presumably based on a Mercedes, not entirely sure which type that would be, an AMG or black. I've got absolutely no idea, but presumably this is one of the top-end Mercedes, given that it's retailing for a price of over $1 million, don't you know? Okie dokie, so what do we think of the aesthetic styling? Well, it's okay, you know, not particularly taken with these vehicles. Something wrong with the back end, in my opinion, but I do quite like the front of it, the way the engine sits all the way out there, you know? Okie dokie, so let's take it on out onto the street, ladies and gentlemen, and I see how she handles, and oh dear, it's raining. Okay, well, that's a shame, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, that's going to sort of put pay to any sort of realistic test we can perform here, but we'll give it a go in the wet anyway and see how she handles, you know. Okie dokie, well, here we go. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, like I say, I have not had this particular vehicle delivered to my Hillcrest residence because, as I say, I won it at the casino, and so yes, unfortunately, it's been stored at the casino, and so therefore we're not going to get the exact. Whoops, Dace is right. Okay, that was annoying. Yes, like I say, we're not going to get a standard lap, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. Not all of it, anyway. We take a left here. Oh, no, not here. It's the next one over, isn't it? Yes, we're going to take a next left, and we should get somewhere close to that standard lap, you know. At least we'll be coming. There we go, and that's where we're coming down from Hillcrest, and that's another Sonic car. Okay, don't pull in front of me, sunshine, for God's sake. Okay, right, don't do it. Right, okay. Right, you're right, trying to push me out, push the bag out of there, didn't he? Okay, well, these are rather wet and slippery hills, as you can see today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll give it a go anyway, try and get around this corner, and there's one post, and I'm going to hit it. Right, okay, and there's another one. Nearly got that too, didn't I? Right, okay, and a vehicle going there. Really have got to be very careful, you know. Okay, so what do we think, ladies and gentlemen? Now we're on this sort of standard lap anyway. Right, okay, well, acceleration feels okay, you know. Top end speed feels quite good, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, it's flying on the street there. As for handling, ladies and gentlemen, rear wheel drive it feels anyway, you know. That back end does want to come away on you, as you can see. Bloody hell, right, okie dokie, that was rather a hard smash, wasn't it? Yes, like I said, that back end is rather wayward there. This is coming it's coming dangerously close to a drift car, you know. Okie dokie, and there we go. Okay, right, so we're going to take it around here, see if I can actually drift it around. Doing quite a good job, and I hit that Sonic car. Yes, absolutely typical. Okay, well, never mind, ladies and gentlemen. That sort of thing is bound to happen with my driving, and we're going to take it on over to the Maze Bank. Get out of my way. Right, we're going to take it on over to the Maze Bank offices now, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to go and have this vehicle upgraded and whatnot, modified, you know. Okay, so here we are, the Benefactor Schlagen. And yes, we're taking it to the custom auto shop, you know, and yes, we're going to go through some of the more functional sort of modifications that can be affected to this vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to sort of, you know, turbo and transmission and whatnot, you know, engine upgrades, and then we're going to move on to the more aesthetic stylings, you know, that the diffusers there and the splitters and whatnot, and doubtless we'll be moving on to the spoilers and the colors in the near future, you know, ladies and gentlemen. So, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Benefactor Schlagen, and it really is rather an interesting vehicle. Don't have many benefactors, and wasn't intending to pick up the Schlagen. But yes, as it happens, I've gone ahead and won the darn thing, don't you know? And there we go. So now I've got one, and I don't quite know what to make of it, to be quite frank with you. Mr. Raccoon, my good friend Mr. Raccoon, you know, he actually has has an entire garage filled with benefactors, and I don't mean like a 10-car garage. I mean like one of the office garages, absolutely full. In fact, he may have two. He has rather a lot of benefactors. Seems to be rather taken with them. Put them all in grey. Couldn't tell you why. Anyway, but yeah. So this is my first, as it happens, and well, yes, I've got to say I'm quite impressed with it, ladies and gentlemen. It's an interesting vehicle to drive. It's got like I say, a good top speed. Not entirely certain on the acceleration. They didn't feel lacking, certainly. Handling a little bit. Well, actually, the handling was very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it feels very heavy and it feels very limited, but it is quite responsive at the same time. Well, how can that possibly be, you may ask? Well, try and drive the car. That's what I say. Really is most interesting car to drive. Feels quite planted, but like I say, that back end does want to come away on you. Really is a car of contradictions, but in terms of handling, very difficult to describe, ladies and gentlemen. Okie dokie. Now I asked Mr. Raccoon what his thoughts on the car, and he said he was particularly taken with it. Does like this vehicle. Couldn't describe it himself either in terms of handling. Really is a most unique car. The only way I can say is it sort of feels slow and dull, slightly unresponsive, but not so much so that certainly not as nippy as the Bagno, but certainly not so sluggish that you're going to just take a disliking to it. Feels quite like it's got a heavy wheel, essentially. Feels like quite a heavy vehicle. I suppose that's the best way to describe it. Okay, now we're done with the modifications, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take it out onto the street and see how she handles it. Straight away, hit a car and bloody hell. Right, okay, not the best of starts, ladies and gentlemen. Not the kind of thing we're looking for, unfortunately. And so we are going to have to go back down to the start there and give it another go. And I'll try not to hit any car a second time I've done that now. Really, I'm going to have to watch what lane I'm in when I'm going up that hill. Right, okie dokie. So here we go. The Benefactor Schlagen has been fully upgraded, all the modifications and whatnot. We're going to see how she handles an eye. Right, okay, that's a shame. Hit a post, right. Sort of shocking driving, really, by me. Yes, that's right. And okay, so we're taking down, like I said, so how does it feel? Well, as you can see, listen, we're not having much difficulty holding the lines there, ladies and gentlemen. The top end speed does feel very good, but it's all about that handling, like I say now. Like I said, the only way to describe it is it's got heavy. It feels like it has a heavy handling, and the vehicle is heavy itself, but it's got enough power to sort of compensate for it, Very interesting to drive. Slightly sort of delayed responses, but not enough, like I say, to destroy the enjoyment of the ride. And as you can see, I really have ruined both of those corners there. Okie dokie. Well, never mind, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take it on back to the Maze Bank offices, and I don't feel like I gave it the best of goes, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to give it another go, and this time I'll try and not hit any vehicles on the way up the street. Okie dokie. And here we go. Try and take this corner a little better, and there we go. Okie dokie. Sort of seeing the drift potential there, really now, aren't we? Like I said, not the most proficient driver myself, and so certainly not going to try to drift it too much on this practice standard lap. Ladies and gentlemen, as I am going to be intending to put this in the video, I'm more sort of concerned with the actual drivability of the vehicle rather than showboating or whatnot. But as you can see, it got down that bottom right-hand corner, that hard ride there. It really is a very hard ride, that one. Got running no problem at all. And look at that speed. Okay, it's picking up rather a lot of speed. Okay, now this is going to be rather interesting, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming down to this bottom corner here, and right, okay, went off, slid off, but managed to hold it, as you can see. So what do we think? Not a bad vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. A bit drifty, a bit slippy, but it's got a lot of power and it's quite good fun to drive. What do I think of it? I quite like it, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, before we make any final decisions, there is only one thing to do, of course, ladies and gentlemen, and that's to take the thing up to the track. So here we go, the Benefactor Schlagen. We're going to take it on up to Sandy Shores airstrip and see how she handles. And first off, ladies and gentlemen, this is a vehicle that Mr. Raccoon owns there, and it's the the Coil Voltic, I believe. Yes, it's the Coil Voltic. I'm sure that's what he said. Okie dokie, sports car, I believe. As is this Benefactor. I assume it's a sports car. I should have checked that out, really, shouldn't I? Could well be a muscle car for all I know. Anyway, there we go. There we can see the Coil Voltic behind there. An electric car, very cheap car, ladies and gentlemen. So one shouldn't really expect a great deal. Really, that's sort of the result one may expect. Okay, so let's take it up the price range a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the Vista Comet RS. Okay, this is retailing for around about 1.2 million. I believe it's 1.8. Not entirely certain. Like I say, 1.3 for the Benefactor Schlagen. And yes, it's there we go. The Benefactor is leaping into the lead, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see. And that is Mr. Raccoon's Benefactor, as a point, like I say, in grey. Mr. Raccoon's Benefactor there. His name's the Bromby. He has a channel of his own, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to go in, go ahead and check that out. Just type in the Bromby into YouTube, and it should well come up, you know. Okie dokie, and here we go. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Benefactor Schlagen does actually beat the Fist of Comet RS. Okay, right, what's he doing? Right, okay, looks like we're going to switch over. Yes, okay, a bit of a musical chairs there. Right, okay, then, hello, Mr. Raccoon, how are you? Okie dokie, so yes, I'm going to switch drivers and make sure it wasn't my shocking driving that was letting down the Fister there, ladies and gentlemen. If I can best Mr. Raccoon in the Schlagen. Then yes, undoubtedly it is the better vehicle. It's only a slightly more expensive, you know. Although I have to say, in all honesty, I do prefer the handling of the Fister. You know, the Comet really has got some very fine handling. And whoops at daisies, took that corner absolutely atrociously and let him through on the inside. Okay, that really is rather a rotten shame, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to make it rather difficult to call. Actually, hold on a minute, I seem to be catching him, don't I? Right, okay, pipped him at the well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Even with a shocking corner, I still managed to take the Fister. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now I've got absolutely no idea why Mr. Raccoon thought this would be appropriate, but he decided he wanted to put it up against the Turismo, you know. I think this is the Turismo. I could be wrong. $500,000 for this car, ladies and gentlemen, so sort of less than half the price, really, and that's the sort of results we'd expect. Now, in all fairness, you know, this is a very fine car, but it hasn't got the best handling, really. The Schlagen hasn't got the best handling either, but there we go. There's sort of no question, ladies and gentlemen. The Schlagen has got into the lead there, ladies and gentlemen, and yes, that's where it's going to stay now, isn't it? Okie dokie, now another idea Mr. Raccoon had was he wanted to see if it could beat the True Fade Thrax, and I thought, no, certainly not, you know. $2.3 million, you know. I know the Thrax has lost to a lot of cars, but it's certainly not going to lose to a $1.3 million car. Mr. Raccoon was quite insistent, you know. So I was happy to oblige him, you know, and so I pulled out the True Fade Thrax, and now we're going to see what an extra sort of $1 million does there, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go. Unlucky Mr. Raccoon, shouldn't have asked me to call it out, now should you, after all? So there we go. Okie dokie, right, okay, he's getting rather sodding close though, isn't he? Bloody hell, right, okay, a little bit further and he'd have caught me there. Sodding hell, right, okay, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Right, okay, that really is rather unnerving. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we give these things several goes, and this is what happens now when you put me in the Schlagen, and a slightly more proficient driver in the True Fade Thrax there, ladies and gentlemen, as we see Mr. Raccoon in the Thrax, and I'm in the Schlagen. And yes, here we go, I'm going around the corner, and jolly good, and I'm going to, right, didn't go off the track there, but he got around on the inside. Okie dokie, now can I come past him? And what do you know, ladies and gentlemen, there we go, that's absolutely how absolutely useless the True Fade Thrax is, ladies and gentlemen. It absolutely insists on losing in every single race that we put it in. Okay, really, I'm rather sore about that, you know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, here we go. This is what Mr. Raccoon refers to as Big Daddy Z, don't you know? This is the Zentorno. $725,000 for this car, ladies and gentlemen, one of our personal favorites, don't you know, up against $1.3 million, and this really is the acid test, or the litmus test, so to speak, ladies and gentlemen. If the Benefactor can beat this car, then it's quite a good car, and no, it's not going to do it, is it? No, it can't beat the Zentorno, so it's not going to be in contention for a seriously competitive car, you know. Okie dokie, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That pretty much settles it really now, doesn't it? And of course, there's only one thing left to do, what we've taken to doing just recently, you know. We're going to humiliate it. Yes, that's right. There's no reason to do this. Quite like the car. Mr. Raccoon certainly does. But this is the Gorotti GTO, and the Gorotti GTO has absolutely no mind or no feelings whatsoever for any other vehicle. It's just going to absolutely disregard any sort of formality and just destroy everything on the track. And that's sort of what the Gorotti GTO tends to do, ladies and gentlemen. Another shockingly bad car, you know. Not dissimilar in many ways. That long hood there to the Benefactor, but there's a big difference in the speed, ladies and gentlemen. $2 million for the GTO, ladies and gentlemen, and my God, are you getting your money's worth if you can stomach that handling? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so there we go. That's the Benefactor Schlagen. And yes, what do we think of it? Well, it's really a very fine car, you know, very heavy, quite planted, but it's got a very good speed. Would I recommend it? Yes, it's not entirely bad. Bloody hell, sodding Raccoon. Okay, yes, well, I suppose he thinks that's very funny, doesn't he? Okay, so where was I? Yes, the Benefactor Schlagen. Would I recommend it? No, not really, but it is quite a bloody sodding raccoon. He's done it twice. Right, okay, that really is rather annoying, ladies and gentlemen. Right, okay, where's he gone now? Right, he's over there. Right, okay. Is he going to do it again? Yes, no. Okay, right. Thank goodness for that. Yes, hello, Mr. Raccoon. I suppose you think that's bloody funny, don't you? I don't find it amusing at all. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you for watching.